Hey man, what it is? This is Dean, and I am your host, and this is By Any Means. Y'all already know the Cash App, man. $ Dean by any means. Y'all know the PayPal at Dean by any means. Y'all see that heart with the $ at the bottom? Well, that's the super chat. You can press that at any time your heart desire. Please say it with me, y'all. I don't care if you leave $1, $10, $1,000. It is much, much, much appreciated, y'all. Right again. Oh, y'all about to hear that all day today. Oh, we is cooking today. In case you've been living under a rock, Shakur Stevenson fight versus Williams Zepeda did get announced, but it's on the undercard. Show me that you doing bad business without showing me you doing bad business. Y'all, I try to prevent this for Shakur Stevenson, but Shakur Stevenson fans, they egg this on. They knob gobble. They defend everything that the man does. And then when stuff like this happens, then they try to spin a narrative. And you know what Shakur Stevenson fans is telling me right now? Well, Dean, I don't really care when he fight as long as he got his money. He didn't. You know how idiotic that is? Can I ask you, Shakur Stevenson fans, since y'all say that y'all care about the man getting his money and that's all y'all care about, y'all just want to see him fight, blah, blah, blah. Why wouldn't you want him to be the main event and get the most money from it? So Shakur Stevenson fans, y'all think he should be the co-main? Tell me you don't know boxing by telling me you don't know boxing. If you think it doesn't make it different, it does. Because when you go in those negotiation rooms, do you know the first thing that they bring up? Do you know one thing you will not get credit for? You will not get credit for somebody else's views. Undercards on Canelo fight don't get credit for selling the fight. Undercards on Tank fight don't get credit for selling the fight. Undercards on Floyd Mayweather's fights don't get credit for selling a fight, because you know who was an undercard on a couple Floyd Mayweather's fights? Do you want to know who was an undercard on a couple of Floyd Mayweather's fights, some of his biggest fights? Do you want to know who that is? Gervonta Tank Davis. Y'all was never going to give Let me had came out here and said that Gervonta Davis got leverage because he was on the undercard of Floyd Mayweather Jr. Let Tank fans that wind up running with these narratives. Your boy's the undercard because he's doing bad business, and Shakur Stevenson hard-headed and he listens to y'all. And y'all knob gobble him and don't give him the right advice, and y'all scared to be hard on him, man. So then stuff like what happened with Eddie happened. Y'all knob gobbled the whole Eddie thing, and then now y'all making excuses. Don't say Eddie bad now. Don't come to my side of the argument now. Don't say Eddie wasn't good for Shakur now, and Shakur just had to do what was best for him. Which brings me on to the real reason I made this video. How serious was they about making a Gervonta Davis fight? Because Eddie Hearn said that he advised Shakur Stevenson team to not make the fight. Shakur Stevenson said that that's not true, that PBC called, but they never called back. But my problem is we don't have no evidence of PBC doing that to anybody. So any Shakur Stevenson fans that's out there saying that they got other information and they know what happened and all, I just ask y'all one question. Have you talked to anybody in PBC about it? If the answer is no and you only got it from Shakur Stevenson, I don't care what you say. Show me another example where the PBC calls somebody, like they're going to call Shakur Stevenson up. Hey, Shakur, do you want to fight? Yeah, I want to fight. Okay, we'll call you back later, and then never call. Why would they do that? Why would they do that? And you knew Shakur wasn't telling the whole truth, because then Shakur Stevenson said the third, fourth time when he was asked about it, I heard something they said. I mean, my team, they said something, but I'm not really too sure what was going on there. So that means that he was never too sure to begin with. How you not too sure more time that went on than you was when it first happened? Somebody explain that to me, because that don't make too much sense to Dean, but maybe I'm tripping. I was the only one, while y'all was sitting up there defending Eddie, I was the one telling Shakur Stevenson to get away from Eddie. Me and a couple other content creators. Shout out to my guy, Knockout Boxing. Then he does it, and y'all want us to not have our chest out? You're out your mind. You shouldn't have argued with me with it. You shouldn't have called me a hater. You shouldn't have said, Dean, you capping. You shouldn't have said, I don't know what I'm talking about. Seems like I know what I'm talking about this morning now, doesn't it? Which brings me on to my other thing. Why Shakur was such in a rush to go to Ludabella? Ain't Ludabella and Bob Arum basically like this? So you want to do business with everybody else but PBC, but Tank's the fight that you want, and you left Eddie, because before the excuse was you was with Eddie because Eddie was giving you the bag. Lie detector determined that was a lie. That's why he's mad and didn't even want to, and then who'll leave somebody that's giving him the bag? Just 3 weeks ago, Shakur Stevenson said that Eddie Hearn was the best promoter in boxing. You see why I be on Shakur helmet? Is he lying then or is he lying now? Well, him leaving tells the truth that he was lying when he said it. So now the whole Eddie Hearn experiment and everything they were saying around the Gervonta Davis fight, I call all cap. It was all cap. And you know what, Eddie Hearn was so intrigued to now want to make the Gervonta Davis fight, because I'm pretty sure he had an inkling that Shakur was leaving. And then y'all saying he gonna get $6-8 million guaranteed. No, he did not. Brian Garcia's not getting that. He getting that to be the co-main for a fight that he said Turkey didn't even want to give him the money for in the first place. Then he gonna overpay him. Stop it. Y'all used to tell me that before, and then we found out he never got paid more than $3 million. Shakur Stevenson has never been paid more than what Bob Arum was offering him, and that's a fact. And when these purses come out that he didn't get $6-8 million, I'm cooking again. Because Shakur fans is putting that on the internet. I didn't tell y'all to put that on the internet. And then people was running with that on the internet, defending that on the internet. And then somebody like me, a truth teller, got to come out here and tell the truth and call big cap. Don't y'all Shakur Stevenson fans think he should have took the Gervonta Davis offer now? I could tell you what. Knockout Boxing said something that I didn't even think was true. Knockout Boxing said the only way you go on main event or get on pay-per-view is if you fight Gervonta Davis. I didn't even think he was going to be the co-main this time. Y'all, I don't know why. I don't like Berlanga. I don't know why Berlanga's the main event. And what y'all don't understand about this is that shows you what Turkey thinks about Shakur. Forget what I say. Turkey don't think he's the main event. Turkey's not that interested in him because they wouldn't have had a debacle if he was, and he definitely wouldn't have made him the co-main in his hometown, basically. And I know Berlanga is basically his best friend and all of that stuff. That's what's up. But it'll be a cold day in hell before you convince me that Edward Berlanga is more popular than Shakur Stevenson on the East Coast. It ain't enough Puerto Ricans. And Shakur's half Puerto Rican, so you can't even use that. Y'all okay with Shakur being a co-main, but then why that backfires against you when somebody like me tell him, well, he should have took the Tank fight and stopped talking about all his leverage he got and that he a big dog too. No, you're not. Shakur said him and Gervonta Davis he the man too. No, you're not. Turkey don't even think that. Eddie didn't think that. They didn't put the money up for you. They didn't put a fight in your hometown. They didn't do nothing to better Shakur Stevenson's career. All they did was hurt the young man, and I tried to prevent that. He would have fought Gervonta Davis. Guess what would have happened, y'all? That probably would have ended in a draw. Lamont Roach wouldn't be in this situation, and it'd be Shakur Stevenson right now looking to rematch Gervonta Davis for his biggest bag ever, or possibly won the first fight. And then guess what, y'all? And then still would have got the Williams to pay the fight. Because unification is Trump mandatory, and what y'all, in the part y'all don't understand why it makes it even worse, why he didn't fight Gervonta Davis, is because remember, y'all, Williams Zepeda turned the fight down the second time because he said he had a baby and all that. So that would have automatically pushed him out the way. So then they wouldn't even have got penalized for making the unification. But unification is Trump's mandatories anyway. And I'm pretty sure Oscar De La Hoya would not have had no problem with Williams Zepeda stepping aside so they could take that fight. Because they had to do this, pull teeth to get Oscar De La Hoya to let Williams Zepeda fight Shakur Stevenson. Now I'm asking y'all right now, would you rather be Lamont Roach or Shakur Stevenson? It's just a question. Would you rather be Shakur Stevenson about the rematch Gervonta Davis, had made pay-per-view money, been the main event, sold out, or be the co-main to Edward Berlanga? I'm asking you, what would you have rather? Can I ask y'all this too? If Shakur Stevenson would have fought Gervonta Davis, and let's say Shakur Stevenson wins, do y'all think him and Williams Zepeda would have been a co-main event? Y'all say y'all don't care, and y'all say as long as he getting his money. Y'all idiots don't understand how boxing works. That's how you get your money. The guys that sell tickets get more money. The guys that be main events get more money than guys that are co-main events. You think I'm lying is why Ryan Garcia gets paid more than Devin Haney, even though Devin Haney's more accomplished. Now, what y'all gonna tell me? Shakur don't care about the money? Obviously, he does. The only way to get a big bag is to be the headliner. Do y'all think Gervonta Davis would be co-main to anybody but Canelo Alvarez? And when you're so big, they'll never. You think Terrence Crawford will ever be the co-main again? You think Gervonta Davis will ever be the co-main again? What about Canelo Alvarez? Acquiring minds would like to know. Y'all think Noah Inoue is going to be the co-main to anybody? Shakur Stevenson and Jaron Ennis signed their deals a month apart with Matchroom. Jaron Ennis has had 3 fights headlined. All of them was in his hometown. Eddie did none of that for Shakur Stevenson, and y'all was defending Eddie Hearn when Shakur was running around lying, saying he's the best promoter in boxing. So now when I say Shakur be capping and lying, do Shakur Stevenson fans, do y'all understand how? Because he said the man was the best promoter in boxing, but he left him. Who leaves the best promoter in boxing if what I was saying was not true? Yeah, Shakur Stevenson fans want me to believe that PBC called Shakur, asked him was he interested in the fight, and then said no. I got a question for y'all. If that was so true, name me the fighter that Jay Prince Jr. has made a fight with Al Heyman with. See, Shakur Stevenson fans like to talk and never bring up the fact that Jay Prince can't stand Al Heyman. Especially, you want to know why? Floyd Mayweather's. Floyd Mayweather was with Jay Prince first. Floyd Mayweather's had to basically bully his way out of his deal with Jay Prince. And then he went over messing with Showtime, HBO, and Al Heyman and all of them. And made Al Heyman his advisor of the whole nine. That's really where the beef started from. Do y'all think Abdullah Mason is going to go fight on a PBC card? We'll see. I doubt it. I highly doubt it. So if what I am saying is wrong, we should be seeing Abdullah Mason soon on a PBC card now, shouldn't we? I doubt you see that. Y'all hard-headed and y'all don't like to listen. Shakur Stevenson, again, didn't try to go to PBC to get a Gervonta Davis fight. Because guess what, y'all? Gervonta Davis got a rematch with Lamont Roach. That is true. He don't have nothing else outside of that. He don't have nothing else outside of that. You want to know how you know? Because Williams Zepeda is #1 in the WBA sanctioning body. But he is fighting his mandatory in Shakur Stevenson. Lord have mercy. You can't make this up. So Shakur fans and can't even say they don't know what Tank going to do next and what Shakur got next. Because we know that Gervonta is not going to have a mandatory because his mandatory would be Floyd Kid Austin, which we know not going to happen, and Williams Zepeda. The problem is Williams Zepeda is already having a mandatory fight with Shakur Stevenson. And we do know you can negotiate multiple fights at the same time. We also know that to be true too as well, right? Or am I lying about that? Shakur Stevenson didn't even wait a couple days. He went right to Lou DiBella. He didn't try to go get a Gervonta Davis fight. Now, what's your excuse now about him not doing it? Don't say because he got a fight lined up, because he had other fights lined up and was lining up Zepeda. Facts. So don't hit me with that excuse. Don't tell me we don't know what Tank going to do, because Tank got one fight with Lamont Roach. He has no other obligations outside of that. You want to know how? Because William Zepeda would be the obligation. But he's fighting Shakur Stevenson. You know who I know knows that? You want to know one person that I know knows that? Shakur Stevenson. So what's your excuse for him not trying to go get the fight now? First, I was using Eddie, and Eddie said that that's what they was trying to do next. But he let Eddie go before they could try to do that next. So what's the deal now? Jay Prince Jr. said that Shakur need to fight, that Tank need to fight Shakur. That is what Jay Prince Jr. said. Jay Prince asked his manager, why you ain't trying to go get the fight then? Y'all acting like Tank got to come to y'all. Y'all are the co-mains. Delusion, and this is why Shakur is in this situation. Delusion at his finest. Like Gervonta got to chase you. You can't even get what you want outside of Gervonta. How Gervonta got to chase you when you can't even get what you want outside of Gervonta? Because if Shakur Stevenson was getting what he wanted, we wouldn't be in this situation to begin with. People that are happy don't leave. Say that again. In marriages and friendships and jobs and anything, people that are happy don't leave. Right again. Y'all already know what this is, though, right? Ding, by any means. And I holla at you, Earthman. Bring up some more excuses. Give me some more of the excuses. Go ahead. I want to see how y'all going to try to spin this.